Module 1, Introduction to Lean Six Sigma. Imagine you're sitting at a U-shaped table in a conference room together with 20 other participants, and you're listening to a project leader presenting in front of the room. He is an engaging speaker, and in his voice you can hear even more enthusiasm when he starts talking about the progress he's made in his project. He's clearly proud of his results. His enthusiasm hits you when he presents a graph. He explains that the graph shows the effectiveness of machines measured in percentages, and each dot represents 1 week. The first bar is data from the original process. He explains, this was before I started with my project, and we managed an effectiveness of 68% on average per week. Now, this is the data that I just collected, which is the situation as it is now, having implemented the process changes and improvements. The effectiveness has increased to an incredible 78% per week on average. So why would I tell you this story? Well, it's a typical example of a Lean Six Sigma project presentation, and Lean Six Sigma is data-driven to process improvement. In this video, I want to give you a short introduction on Lean Six Sigma, but before I can do that, I first have to explain to you what a process is. Processes are a series of actions or steps taken to make a product or deliver a service. Let's look at some examples to get a better understanding about processes. Processes take place everywhere. Let's look at industry. One example is manufacturing of touchscreens for smartphones. Here, a screen is added to a phone. We can also see processes taking place in healthcare settings. A typical process there is the treatment of a patient in a hospital. Or within the service industry, for example, handling a phone call in a call centre is a typical service process. Every organisation can be seen as a collection of processes, and many organisations spend considerable time trying to improve these processes. But why would they do that? Well, for example, to withstand competition, to adapt to higher customer expectations, or because of technological innovations. Let's look at some examples of improving processes. Improvement in the case of the touchscreen process might mean to manufacture more touchscreens per hour so that sales can increase. In hospitals, a possible improvement direction is to decrease the occurrence of medical errors. And in a call centre, an improvement in the process could mean increasing customer satisfaction by lowering waiting times. Of course, you can also reduce personnel cost by lowering handling time, or both at the same time. But how would you go about improving your process? A very popular way to improve processes is Lean Six Sigma. This is a stepwise method for running a process improvement project. The main features of Lean Six Sigma are that it is evidence-based and that it makes use of process data. Data can be used in a project to analyse several aspects of your process. For instance, you can use the data to find the biggest problems that you should focus on. In the example of the touchscreen process, data on the major production stops showed that from all possible stops, waiting for liquid crystal modules takes up most of the stop time. This knowledge now helps to focus the project on its biggest problem. You can also use data to analyse the current process. For example, in a hospital, the project can aim to reduce the number of diagnostic tests that are used. But before you can do this, you need to have some knowledge about how many tests are being used right now. What is the average? And is there a lot of variation? Finally, you can also use data in your project to investigate the effect of an improvement. For example, you can see whether your handling time is influenced by giving your employees certain training or not. In summary, process improvement is important to organisations, and Lean Six Sigma is a popular method to implement this. Data is important when you want to improve your processes. Data can help you to find the biggest problems, diagnose the effectiveness of current processes, or investigate the effects of your improvement actions.